late last summer in July or August, probably August, we had a really big thunderstorm. Quantity of rain that fell here was probably something on the order of 6 inches in about an hour. And this canyon filled up with water, and it was quite a torrent. And you can see the little piles of debris still remain, even 3/4 of a year later and after a winter. But so if you can imagine, this this canyon was running with water at least up to the level of those rocks there, and those rocks were shelving rocks like those next to them that were buried in the side of the hill, but the torrent of water undercut them and they fell down. So it's just an interesting process. It's what nature does all the time. Sometimes spectacularly with a raging torrent, and sometimes just a little bit at a time. Most of the time a little bit at a time. This is sumac along here. This part was all full of water after that storm, and you can see still more debris down here. This part of the fence here washed completely out, so I had to get down in here and replace this. And as you might imagine, it's not terribly easy to get down here with equipment. I managed it. I got the skid steer down here so I could put this big old telephone pole in as a corner post. But I had to bring the skid steer down that hill there. That's not all that easy. Anyway, one of the reasons I came over here was to show you where that this had filled up with water after that rainstorm. But I also wanted to show over here a couple of interesting things. First of all, the water ran down here. And as you can see, it washed down more rocks out of the thin topsoil. And over here, it did the same thing. These rocks came down. They were right up there. But there was a cataract that formed here when the water was running down here, and it was swirling here in a whirlpool, and it dug out pretty deeply there, and then it of course flowed down there. But so that's kind of interesting. This is sumac here, and then all of these little roots you can see are mostly blue grama grass roots. And then you can see there's topsoil and then subsoil beneath it, which is mostly sand and gravel. So that's interesting. There's a yucca that didn't quite survive that storm. And then one further thing over here. This is probably not exactly riveting video. Should have planned out what I was going to say and how I was going to do it, but I guess you do things and figure out what you're doing wrong and correct them. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it on the camera as well as I can, but there's a big infestation of Scotch thistle here, and it's growing fast, and hopefully tomorrow it'll be calm enough to spray. Also, just for fun, this is the entrance of a snake den. Have the snakes come out yet? I don't know. I suspect they have, but it's been pretty cool, so maybe they haven't. This is a badger hole. Badger dug down there and got some kind of tasty little mammal to eat. As I said, pretty evening.